This is the second video, and now we're going to energize the unit. We're going to have this meter monitoring all the different signals at different stages, at different outputs. We have our 240 volts AC input and the varying output. So let's go ahead and turn it on. I'm going to turn power to the board. At this point we have the 3 LEDs on, and here we have this self start on. We have the power, and we have the current limit. These are initial, so right now the LEDs don't mean anything. Let's go ahead and bring in the 240. So we have 240 going in. The board has cleared the phase loss. It's still inhibited because we need to enable, and this is not going anywhere. Go ahead, Tony, let's enable the board. Alright, and we're going to use the potentiometers to increase the output. And right now I'm just going to go to the maximum output. We'll see that it starts 20 volts, 30, and there it is judged. I'm just using the current limit, the voltage limit. It's at a 50, so let me just go ahead and have all the potentiometers at 100%. So we have 243 volts AC going in, 324 volts AC going out, and we have a lamp load out there indicating the voltage. Now, if I were to take a meter measuring DC between the shunt, and I can just, instead of doing it here, I can just do it right here. I can see that I have 52 millivolts. I could come here and measure the 52 millivolts. Now the voltage across this resistor, and it's an isolated resistor that I'm going to go between position 4 and 1, it's 4.18, and you notice that we have a negative voltage. Again, I said it's just the amplitude. If we were to remove this and use the shunt and the resistor in here, it will be 4. Now I'm going to bring in my negative. Now, not that part was isolated. Now I'm going to go to the common. I'm going to go on the inside of the board, and I'm going to go to TP7. That's my seek high, and that is 6 volts. That's what's going into the firing board. As I bring in my current limit and I start adjusting, you'll notice that as I start going down, that seek high is coming down, and that of course means that the DC output is coming down. We're basically setting the current limit in this particular case, although I'm monitoring the output voltage. Alright, now that's TP7. We see that TP7 is getting an output. Again, just following that connection diagram. Now if I go to the TP1, TP1 is the current feedback, and I'm going to go to 0, and we have what would be a 0. It's normally 200 millivolts, 0.2. But then as we go and increase the current limit pot, we go to a maximum voltage of 2 plus the 0.2 or 200 millivolts. So that's the full swing of that current. That gets to the 50. We measure 52 millivolts. And then I'm going to go to test point number 4, which is the voltage feedback. And again, have it at 2.2. And I come to 2. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Again, I'm looking at the voltage feedback, minimum, maximum, but now as you can see, I'm not using the current limit, I'm using the voltage limit. And in your particular case, you're keeping the voltage limit at the maximum, whether it's through the pot or whether it's through the external command, but that has to be all the way up to 12 volts so that you can only control and regulate with the current. This is the end of the second video.